Christopher Paolini was supposed to be done with dragons. He'd sold millions of copies, earned enough fan mail to wallpaper a moon base, and then quietly disappeared to do whatever fantasy authors do when they've wrung their medieval worlds dry. But he came back, and instead of another sword and sorcery epic, he turned up with something unexpected. A doorstop-sized science fiction novel called To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. The title sounds dreamy, but the book itself is anything but gentle. It's a sprawling, blood-splattered, deeply human space opera where things explode, aliens shriek, and one unlucky scientist finds herself dragged into an interstellar nightmare. At the center of this cosmic misadventure is Kira Navárez, a xenobiologist who's just trying to have a normal career poking at rocks and microbes on distant planets. Instead, she stumbles across an alien relic that fuses itself to her body, making her simultaneously humanity's best weapon and its greatest liability. It's the sort of occupational hazard no one covers in the training manual. From the moment she bonds with this mysterious organism, she becomes the most wanted woman in the galaxy, which is as stressful as it sounds. The book makes it clear early on that first contact doesn't mean sitting down for tea with aliens. It means screaming, gunfire, and the constant chance of getting vaporized. If there's one thing Paolini loves, it's detail. He describes the physics of space travel, the biology of alien life, and the interior design of spaceships with the enthusiasm of someone who has read too many technical manuals and decided the rest of us need to catch up. At times, it's fascinating, and at others, it feels like being cornered by a friend who really wants to tell you how a faster-than-light drive might work if only Einstein would loosen up. The good news is that it's all in service of scale. This isn't a modest little tale about one starship. It's a sprawling epic where entire species collide, wars erupt, and the survival of humanity teeters on the brink. You can practically hear the film score swelling in the background. The cast around Kira is the sort of ragtag crew you expect in a big space opera. There's Falcone, the ship's captain, with the kind of swagger that suggests he's already posing for the movie poster. There's Sparrow, a sharp-tongued pilot, and Trig, the young, earnest crew member who exists mostly to make readers nervous about his chances of survival. They bicker, they laugh, and they occasionally save the universe before breakfast. Paolini clearly wants readers to care about them, and for the most part, he succeeds, though some of them risk blurring into the wallpaper of witty spacefarers you've met in other franchises. Still, it's Kira's story, and she gets the lion's share of the focus. Her terror, her guilt, and her stubborn refusal to let the galaxy crush her into dust. Themes tumble over each other in this novel like drunks spilling out of a bar at closing time. Identity is front and center. What does it mean to still be yourself when an alien organism is literally wearing you like a coat? There's the eternal sci-fi question of whether humans can ever truly understand alien minds, or if we'll just keep shooting at anything that looks funny. War, sacrifice, survival, and the quiet ache of longing for something resembling home all ripple through the story. Kira isn't some superhero. She's a woman who wanted a normal life and instead got drafted into the role of cosmic savior, whether she likes it or not. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. This book is long. We're not talking take it on holiday long. We're talking you'll need a separate suitcase long. At over 800 pages, it's a workout for your arms as well as your brain. Some sections fly by in a blur of action and suspense, while others grind to a halt so Paolini can explain how spacesuits recycle oxygen in excruciating detail. Depending on your patience, this is either delightfully immersive or the point where you start skimming and muttering. But when it works, it really works. The battles feel immense, the wonder feels earned, and the horror of alien confrontation feels skin-crawlingly real. There are moments of brilliance here. Paolini conjures alien life that actually feels alien, not just people with prosthetic foreheads. The world building is so meticulous, you could probably sit an exam on it by the end. And every so often, he slips in an emotional punch that makes you forget the schematics and equations and remember why you care about these people in the first place. But there are also moments where the ambition trips over itself, where the pacing sags, and where you wonder if anyone told him that sometimes less is more. It's a first foray into science fiction, and it occasionally shows. Reception has been mixed but intrigued. Fans of Paolini's dragon-ridden past life seem split between admiration and exhaustion. Science fiction readers appreciate the ambition, even as they roll their eyes at some of the clunkier dialogue. But almost everyone agrees on one thing: this is a bold swing. Paolini didn't dip a toe into sci-fi, he cannonballed straight into the deep end, dragging readers along whether they were ready or not. And in a publishing landscape where safe bets dominate, there's something refreshing about an author willing to risk drowning in his own ocean of stars. So, should you read to sleep in a sea of stars? If you like your science fiction vast, detailed, and unapologetically ambitious, the answer is yes. If you prefer your space adventures neat, tidy, and finished before bedtime, you might find yourself struggling. But love it or loathe it, the book announces Paolini as more than just the dragon guy. He's now the space guy too, and he clearly intends to stick around. The novel ends with the promise of more stories in what he's calling the fractalverse, because, of course, one book wasn't enough. And maybe that's the final word on To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. It's too much, it's messy, it's occasionally exhausting, but it's also kind of wonderful.